I want to hop right in and talk about the evolution of the Banks family now that we are at season 4. So, can you speak to what was Vivian's influence over the overall trajectory of where the family is at today?
Wow, that's a big question to start with. What is there? She is the warmth of the house. She is the reason for the whole show. It's her nephew. It's her nephew. That first season is about her convincing her husband to let that boy come, open up the house, let him be messy, let him be a boy and grow up. And then the other part of the show is really about her embracing her passions and stop putting her life in the back seat and actually learning how to be the driver in her life. I mean, she is the pragmatic one, the disciplinary one in the house. But I think throughout these seasons, she becomes quite inspirational to all her kids as well, to like reach out for your dreams.
I agree. And I also like that she still prioritizes her own self and her own dreams and goals. And specifically, something I noticed in this season was about Black women not being heard in the health space. So, considering this is a real issue going on in our community for you, what was that like stepping into that role from reading it in a script and then acting it out?
Yeah, we had a discussion with the writers' room where they brought me in and they just asked me about my birth story with my son, who's now 7. And like 80% of that storyline is my life story, where except that they took out some of the ugly parts. Like when I first was confirmed that I was pregnant, the nurses and the doctors kept asking me if I wanted an abortion. Like the racism in healthcare does not care what your education is, how much money is in your account. They pay more attention to the color of your skin. So the first doctor, all they wanted to do was like kill him. And then the second doctor was upset that I was even there to get help. So I ended up leaving New York City and I went upstate New York, basically into the country, and found a midwife. And that's why we created the Janet Hubert character. I was like, I and Aunt Viv both wanted to create a life for our child to enter the world that felt holistic and grounded in ancestry, grounded in home. And so all of that is pretty much me. And it felt very cathartic to tell that story. And I hope it inspires other women to really think, expansively about how you want to have a child. You don't have to do it just one way.
Absolutely. It was definitely very eye opening for me, like future me. What was that like working alongside Janet? Like the two Unvibs coming together.
Emotional, amazing, cathartic.
Nice. I wanted to ask you about a quote that your character said sometime this season. You said they teach us strength before they teach us rest. And you said that to your sorority president. And so I wanted you to break that down. Like, what does that mean in this era to Vivian as the series wraps?
Girl, that's a heavy line, right?
Yes.
I just heard it this morning too, and I was like, and I remember that day on set being like, how does she want to say this? Like, where does it come from? But I think, people underestimate that no matter how beautiful a woman is, she's bleeding on the inside. She's bleeding. And to be a woman in this society, and a Black woman, obviously, is to be like a soldier. You have to walk into the room, you're looking around to see, are you safe? How do you get out of here safely? Is there an ally in the room? Are you allowed to be yourself here? Do I have the courage? Like all of that can develop a steely sort of heart. It can make you become like a soldier. And I wanted this character for Tyra Banks to be like, there could be another way to go, which is what about if we started with vulnerability? I think just in general, our storytelling around Black women should be more focused on how we are just as fragile as these women who are blonde. Maybe people would care more about us, but that's my 2 cents.
Agreed. Yes, that was very well said. And I really liked how Tyra Banks and your character, you guys were able to come together in the end and just, realize sisterhood is the most important thing. So for you, what does sisterhood mean?
First of all, I got a real great sister. Okay, I got a couple of sisters, and I thank God for them. It's like sisterhood. I have some great best friends. I'm so lucky to be surrounded with a handful of friends who always have my back. Uh, so sisterhood to me is having a group of people who are sometimes further down the road than you, sometimes behind you, but we're always trying to figure out how to make the path smoother and to witness each other's lives, like to witness it and celebrate it, have compassion for it, have words for it and space for it. That is sisterhood to me.
Absolutely. And I feel like, we've seen a lot of the relationships, play out also within the family structure too. I wanted to know, what is your ideal Banks family future now that the series is over?
Oh, the ideal future is to continue on what, Viv says she's going to open up her own fellowship, her own institution. So I imagine it to being like this colorful place where she's bringing in kids from, different parts of LA and really nurturing the future of artists. I think all of them, I feel it will just be more 10 toes down, grounded, and like in a way becoming activists of love, like how to put more love into the community. Even Hillary sticking around with her holistic restaurant across the street from Jazz and his music. You're gonna have Ashley going to an arts high school. Like something about it all feels like a simpler life, but its intention being rooted in love and full self-expression. I think it will be a very exciting life. And I think too, having Will come in is gonna make them be like, who's gonna be the next Will? Like there are all these Wills in our life who we can take in. And I love that, it's obviously Will Smith, but the idea of will, like, will we let him in? Will power? Will we let God have space? I just think it'll be more of that.
How exciting. Well, thank you so much for your time. They're giving me the wrap. So I want to respect your time. Thank you so much.